welcome to the Mulligan Menace. Today we're playing some Ketramose Roots. First, I do want you to click on that subscribe button below. I really appreciate it. I'm a newer channel. I just started at the beginning of September, so any promotion on YouTube or any help we can help with the algorithm by hitting subscribe, hitting that like button will really help the channel grow, help me post more videos. I'm trying to post content every day for everybody, so if you want to subscribe and see the latest content, please do that. Otherwise, let's get into the deck. The Ketramose Roots, the whole idea of this deck is you can get Insidious Roots out and be pulling stuff out of your graveyard and basically create a crazy amount of plant tokens. The neat thing is basically whenever you're pulling anything out of your graveyard, you're exiling it. So the side effect of that is you're turning on Ketramose. With this, obviously, this is just a heavy hitter in the format. The combination of these two cards together really work well. On the lower level in the one casting cost slot, we do have a single seam rip. We have a gene pollinator just to help doing some ramp in there. And then also you can give that ability to other creatures, which is nice with the Soul Cauldron. We have the Molt Tender. This allows you to mill cards and exiling cards. So you're able to pull them out of your graveyard, which obviously helps with triggering both Roots and Ketramose. We have a Rubble Belt Maverick. If this is in your graveyard, you just have to pay 1 green and you can exile it and give a +1/+1 counter to any creature. Especially nice to grow this a little bit larger because it does have lifelink. We also have one of the Ademi. Nice card. It gives your stuff kind of evasion because you can sacrifice this. It also comes in as flash, so you can surprise block with it. Dredger's Insight is just a common card in the Roots deck. Just allows you to throw a bunch of stuff in your graveyard, allows you to pull stuff back with it. We have Scavenging Ooze. So this has a couple different effects that allows you to do. One, it allows you to pull stuff out of your graveyard and grow this and gain life, but it also allows you to pull stuff out of your opponent's graveyard. So if they are playing like a Reanimator deck or something like that, you can just basically destroy their game plan by stealing the card from them before they even have a chance to grab it. One of Scout the City, just nice to find your land drops, and it also mills 3 cards. Obviously, the Insidious Roots we talked about, just a solid card, dropping all the plant tokens and growing things fast. 2 of the Cauldrons, really nice to just exile stuff with this. You can also exile your opponent's stuff in their graveyard. Don't be afraid to do non-creatures as well, because that all just gets stuff put into exile, which is what you're trying to do. Guided by Light. She is actually kind of really nice. You can warp her in before you're triggering Insidious Roots, because if you do that and you can trigger multiple Insidious Roots, you get the benefit that you're going to gain all that life and get a draw off of her. Really handy in the late game to get that life gain so that they can't squeak out a win. Kind of prevents that. Ketramose, obviously the heavy hitter in the deck. Menace, Lifelink, Indestructible. You have to have 7 cards in exile, though, for it to be active for attacking or blocking. Another one of the big removals, I should say, in this deck is Awaken the Honored Dead. Destroy target permanent, stage 1, mill 3 cards for stage 2, and then you may discard a card when you do. Return target creature card or land card from your graveyard to your hand. Don't be afraid to have stuff go into your graveyard because you can always recur it with that, or you have other abilities such as the Reclaimer. We have 2 of these, and whatever you pay for the casting cost for this card, whether it's the warp cost or the 5 casting cost for its normal spell, you can pull stuff back from your graveyard. So this is great if you end up throwing a Roots in your graveyard from milling or whatever. You can pull it back with this really easily, which is fantastic to trigger all the abilities with that. Overlord, throwing stuff in your graveyard. It also naturally pulls stuff out of your graveyard, which means it triggers Roots. Stormbrood, couple different modes on this. You destroy target creature with power 3 or less. Solid 2 casting costs for that. But it also has that great ability where this, when it enters, it destroys up to 1 targeted artifact or enchantment. If they have an enchantment that is just killing you, that is the way to remove it. The nice thing about that is you can actually get this to come back with the Reclaimer. Cast it for 5, you can actually get this to pull back to your hand, which is nice. Just a plethora of land. You could look at them to see which ones we're using for all of this. But it is a pretty fun deck. It really is resilient. I've been playing this in Diamond and have been doing really good with it. So let's get into the gameplay. All right, we go first. Let's look at this deck. Little Ketramose Roots action here. We can get roots down pretty quick. Got our graveyard things. Yeah, let's do it. I think we're gonna do this first because we can get the pollinator out. We will take 2 damage. Get the roots out. Pollinator out. Are they going to remove it? We got mono white so far. 2 different lands, which is interesting. Okay, they got the angel deck going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have to do impending. Let's bring back a card. Let's bring back... Molt Tender. And give us a little more ability here. Let's see here. Mill 3 cards. You may put a permanent card among them into your hand. I think we should just do another one of these. Get Molt Tender out. All right. Pretty solid 3rd turn. Well, that just kind of ruined our... All right. Good game. All right, we go first. This is pretty nice. We can do roots. Get a tender here. Let's keep this. Put that in tapped. Oh, I should have got the Molt Tender out. Instant regret. Oh well. With this, we'll get roots. We could have been producing our creatures a turn earlier with these roots. Starting town down. Get the Molt Tender down. Okay. You can start going off next turn now. This is the Viviless Vivi deck here. Okay, unfortunately, that didn't work out so well. Get this down. We'll still be able to do this. It will double trigger the roots, hopefully. Yep. Get a mold tender. Get another mold tender. We'll be able to double mold tender next turn. All right. Good game. All right, we go first here. We got 2 land. We don't have roots, but we do have a Ketramose. We got some early plays here to get some stuff in our graveyard as well. We'll keep it. We want to start getting stuff in our graveyard so that we can exile it. Ooh. Let me start by milling a card. Okay, they're going to kill that. Just for grins, let's do this ahead of that. I do want to get this out. Get rid of their mill, or their menace, surveil. Because that finds them way too much stuff. When we get to mill 3 cards. We do only have the 1 creature in our graveyard, so no reason to trigger this. Oh, they had another one. Alright. They're getting pretty aggressive here. My turn. Okay. Roots would have been nice to have. And we can cast this. We'll get a blocker down with it. Yeah, I played this in the wrong order. I should have had that first. Okay, we gain life there. Let's get rid of their miner. Put a counter on the pollinator. Oh, okay. Well, I'll just block, or I'll just do that. We still have a blocker here, which is nice. If I block here, I can remove their miner. You discard when you do. Return target creature card or land card from a graveyard to your hand. I don't have anything in my graveyard, so decline. I think we're going to do this. We're going to get our ooze out. I think we want to get rid of the miner. I'll just go here. I think we're going to trade there is what I'm kind of looking at. All right. Good game. All right, we go first. We have 2 land here. We do have a Reclaimer, some removal, 2 oozes, scout the city. That's good for ramp. We might need that with only having 2 lands in our hands. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to mill. We need to get that land. Ooh. Should have grabbed roots, actually. The land does give us our removal. Well, let's try this to get the roots back. It worked. Pretty handy for that. Consider they didn't do anything on their side of the board. That was a pretty solid turn for us. We can do a Pollinator and also an Awaken next turn, or we could do a Scavenging Ooze and remove multiple cards. We can do quite a bit, because we want to try to fuel our exile effects as well. Get up to 7 is the goal. We're currently at 1. Actually, not even 1, are we? We got another land, which is good. I don't like the land that they have, but we'll go with it here. Should not have tapped that way. It's a little unfortunate. Do a surveil. See what we got here. Seam rip. We can keep the mold tender up top. We would have tapped differently. We could have done a couple different things, especially with the roots. We could have exiled our creature. We could have cast another creature. Okay. They are ramping pretty good here. Let's get the bolt tender down. Oh, he can just sacrifice this? Yeah. I can't really go after it anyways. Alright. We'll attack in for 3. I guess it's safe that we can cast the Pollinator. Pass the turn. Yeah. So he's going to have 7 mana. He's Ugin levels at this point. Which is fine if he casts a new again, because we do have destroy target permanent here. He'll get rid of our roots, unfortunately. If that's the case, we'll see what he got. Virtuous Strength. Well, I could just eat that. Okay. That is not the worst. We do have multiple creatures we can pull back here. All right. We're going to have a fun turn this turn. We can trigger roots 3 times. Pillager for 6. All right. That is not that big of a deal to me. We'll go after our graveyard. Let's go there. Let's go after our graveyard. We'll go there. Go after our graveyard. Go after Pollinator. All right. We can kill his creature. Gonna get Ketramose. I'm going to leave the one land open. Just in case they recur something from their graveyard. We can get Ketramose online pretty easily here. Ketramose. I kind of had to do that. Let's get rid of their Puppet Villager. They gonna go after? I don't. Oh, they don't have enough there. I mean, they could actually. They could use their Virtuous Strength. What are they gonna go after? Ooze? I could have went the other direction, and they probably wouldn't have been able to, or they wouldn't have been able to do that. So that might have been the better play. But they just turned on my Ketramose, so I'm okay with that. Ooh, and I drew a new one. I have to exile it. Trigger Roots. It will tap and pen this out. This deck is so resilient. I don't know if I need a third. I think I'd rather have a Reclaimer. Because then I can get a Overlord. Which I have the other one I can get the Overlord with too, so it doesn't really matter too much. Roots just goes crazy. Okay, they're probably looking for a cover-up, but unfortunately, this is only a destroy. It's not an exile. So they got to find an exile effect, but if that's what they're searching for, they're not going to be able to get rid of the rest. So they pretty much have to have both like a cover-up and an exile effect. But the problem is I have another one in hand, so it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, they have quite a bit of land here. So they could have the Louise can do a lot of damage if that's what he's holding in his hand. You have a cover up. Found the one in my hand, but they gave me something else. Okay, I can gain some life with this. Discard a card. Yeah. I think I want the Overlord. I don't have any way to deal with that enchantment. Get this out first so we can start gaining some life. There's our enchantment removal. Unfortunate thing is we don't have enough mana. Ooh. Let's do this. We'll gain a little bit more life. Warp that in. Again, put a counter on that. We're going to gain some more life. Back in. Get to draw some cards. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. He can't kill us with it. This turn, at least. Pillager is not going to be the way that he's going to win this round. We gain enough life. Ooh. 4 land? Oh, I guess that's going to give him 8. Untaps. Still has quite a bit of land here. Pillager doesn't do it, though. Oh, that would work. Pillager would do it here. Interesting. I think we still have to get rid of the Virtue of Strength. Terminus, okay. He can trigger the Terminus, but he has to sack his creature. I don't think he's got it. Man, does have quite a bit of removal. All right. Let's get that land down. So we can cast that, gain a lot of life. Cast this. What do we want to do here? We don't happen to have a Stormbrood in the bin, do we? No. I can do that. I can cast. That doesn't seem like it'd be a good way to do it. Non-creature, non-land, permanent. I have a feeling we should have gotten rid of the... Okay. They paid for that. That's fine. We should have flashed in, or shouldn't have paid the full amount for the other one. We didn't play that turn the best. We really wanted to get this down just so we could destroy that enchantment. Okay. First things first, let's warp this in. And counter it. Gotta pay 4 to counter that. I don't think it's that important to counter that. Pay 2 life. We'll warp that in. Trigger that. We're just trying to grow our guys that can attack in here. We want to do 11 damage. We got 7, 8, 9. That's going to pump them again. They have no cards in hand. They can only block. Five, 9. I'll do 12 damage there. They can still block that, but then we win. Good game. Could have played a little bit better, but it worked out. All right, let's look at this. The opponent goes first. We do have some removal here. We got a cauldron, which is always kind of nice. We will keep it. Need to get some stuff in our graveyard, though. We don't really have anything here. Get the tap breeding pool down. Probably could have just cast this with the another soul cauldron. We'll just get this down. It's unfortunate that we didn't cast that first turn. Let's see here. Got 3 land. We do need a land. And that'll be good in our bin. We can destroy the authority if they don't counter this. I am going to take the damage here just because I want to get the... so it doesn't come in tapped. Not sure if it will actually matter, though. Are they going to counter that? They are. Attack in. And that did go to exile, which is kind of nice. Okay, we're going to do a Dredger's Insight. Doesn't look like they have counter spells. Ooh. Let's grab a forest. We'll do the Soul Cauldron while we can. Trigger that, and... we'll do the creature, so we can put a +1/+1 counter. Back in. Might have been beneficial because we could have utilized this to get it back. Well. This is starting to look pretty decent. Let's see if we can get the Ketramose down. We can. Can we get the Cauldron down too? This is a little greedy. We can. Oh, meant to attack there. Interesting. I suppose that's one way to do it. The nice thing is we can actually trigger this. That's going to allow us to trigger it twice. Let's go after starting town. They're allowing us to do quite a bit of exiling here, which is really nice. Well, we can take care of that. They got a counterspell? Yes. Submit one. Auto pay. They had the hexproof on it. Crazy. Okay, we need to draw some removal here. Are they going to grab their seam rip again? Oh, they want to give it. That's actually a pretty slick play, I gotta say. We can grab. Nothing amazing here. We might as well do this. We're gonna get the Dredger's Insight. Didn't find what we needed. Let's see here. Okay, you tacked in. That is a pretty good card here. The nice thing is this targets the creature, but I'm going to attack the sheltered. Resolve, I am not discarding a card. So I won't go after the power 3 or less because he can give it hexproof. What I'm going to do is get rid of the enchantment that is under there. I will pay that happily. That will get us our Ketramose. Does unfortunately trigger the councils. We will keep this up because we want a blocker, so no attack. They're going to put counters on it. I mean, I have to block, unfortunately. Oh, wow. I mean, it's unfortunate. I have to block there, which means he has the 2 flyers. We're down to 1 life. I mean, we're hanging on here by a thread. All right. Good game. All right. I was expecting Ketramose to um be the big game winner in a lot of these decks, but man, the Roots just takes over. Really, the Roots does shine in a lot of the decks with how many different or how fast you can grow a board of creatures. If they can't sweep them, you're going to be dominating. You could see in that one game, I think they swept our Roots twice, all our different plant tokens twice, I should say, and we just rebuilt the board like nothing. So it's really resilient deck. It handles against sweepers really well. Um, really like playing this one. I gotta say, there was some play patterns that I think I could have done better on. So definitely, more reps with this deck would help. So if you do play this deck, make sure you understand there's going to be a lot of games that you got to play to really get the right line of plays for this. But all in all, pretty solid deck. Like I mentioned earlier, fairly new channel, trying to grow it. Please hit that subscribe button. We got new videos every day for you. And if you want to catch the latest videos, hit that subscribe, hit that like button to help push the channel to other people, and have a fantastic day.